Hey everyone, it's Chris, and I'm doing a react to the video April Lauren put out yesterday. 5 weeks post-op update and weigh-in after weight loss surgery. She had a duodenal switch. And I think so far she seems like she's doing pretty good. She's sticking to the program and she's lost a decent amount of weight, and I'm really happy for her. I'm happy to see that. Will it last? Will she be able to maintain? Is she getting the mental health help she needs for her eating problems? That is yet to be seen, but it is exciting to see somebody in Girl World actually doing the dang thing and having some success. So I'm very cautiously optimistic for April. I am getting this video out today. I'm working on an amber one, and as I said in a community post, if you haven't seen it, the Alexandra Rodriguez react to her baby moon in Martha's Vineyard is a very long video. It's 50-minute, almost an hour long vlog. So that one is going to take me some time, but I am going to react and get that out to you. So I may split it up. I may not. I don't know. But I'm a little bit behind. Things have just been a little crazy. Thank you guys so much for the well wishes. I'm a day behind because we had a family member pass. So I had to go and meet a couple family members yesterday and drive down to the viewing to pay respects and things like that, and talk to some of our extended family. It was an extended family member. We weren't like super close, but anytime I would see him, he was friendly and we would hug and we would talk. He was just a really nice guy, and he had cancer. We kind of knew it was coming. It's just really sad to see throat cancer, and cancer is extremely rare in my family. Thank the lords above, whoever you worship. So that was quite a shock. I think there was some contributing factors to it, but I'm not victim blaming or anything. I don't want to get into it. He deserved to have at least a few more good years left. But yeah, so that happened, and just that, getting down to the family and everything. I'm about a half an hour away from my closest family, so we get on there, do that. By the time you do all that, get back, it's a little crazy, and this heat is just insane. I haven't even gotten to go out for a walk today. By 9:30 this morning, it was already 82 degrees here, and the humidity makes it feel like it's 100. So I'm gonna go out and just do all my walking around my house, and later tonight, once the sun starts going down, that'll be safer. And definitely for Frodo, because those of you guys who know Frodo, he's a little 6-pound beast and he's close to the pavement, and this heat is just like way too much for him, and I don't want to risk him getting sick. So that being said, stuff you didn't ask to know but now you know, let's get into it and see what's going on with old April.
I'm April Lauren. I'm on a journey to lose over 200 pounds, and 5 weeks ago, 5 Mondays ago, I had weight loss surgery. I had a duodenal switch, and I have been making my way through the recovery process and learning and struggling.
And for those of you guys who aren't familiar, I'm not 100% familiar with all the specifics of the different types of surgeries. There's different ones. There's this one. I don't know if this one falls into like the Sadie category. But there's like simple like gastric balloons and lap bands, which are kind of like frowned upon these days. There's a gastric sleeve, stuff like that. There's a bunch of different types of bariatric surgery. I do know that the one April had is very aggressive. It is more for people who really need to get weight off quickly, who have like real problems with diabetes, and people who are very likely to not be as compliant. The absorption, the way they rerouted her digestive tract, it really allows for a lot less absorption of everything that goes into her system, and that's calories, fats, everything, but also nutrients. So it is quite the aggressive procedure, and for her doctor to have chosen that one, I think she had to have been honest about her background, and he had to have seen that there was a very dire need for clearly for such a drastic procedure. So we have to remember that April had problems her whole life with her weight, but years ago, a couple years before she met Kenny, she did a drastic program, which was a protein sparing modified fast under supervision and lost a ton of weight. And I think she got down to, I think it was around 130. And if I remember, I'll post some pictures here. I know I posted some pictures in the last video, but she lost a ton of weight and really kind of, even back then, relied a lot on exercise to maintain that weight loss. But she really liked being active and doing fun things like rock climbing and stuff. So it was, you know, it was great. And then after she met Kenny, she started blowing up. And this woman more than doubled her weight. She went from 130 some pounds to over 350. And never was able to really get it off ever since. And looking at pictures of her and why she was so adamant about lying about her weight last time around, I really actually think her starting weight was more than 350. I think she was closer to between 380 and 400. I think if she hit that 400 mark, she just has too much pride. She could not bring it to admit to people and to her husband that she ever hit a 4 in front of her weight. And I can understand why you'd be embarrassed about that, you know, and it's hard because I think she's really worried about what Kenny will think because, like I said, he met her. She was 135 pounds thinner, fit, active, cute girl. And then he comes back from the military and she has really just, it's crazy. But there was a reason this procedure was chosen and she's doing very well. She's going to have to be really mindful for the rest of her life about her nutrients and stuff. But I don't know. I'm just talking. I don't make videos for 2 or 3 days. And then I just need to like verbally diarrhea and just like talk to you guys. But anyways,
all of the things, and I'm excited to chat with you. This week felt a little disappointing to me. I had high expectations that I would be like doing a lot and moving around, and I just felt so lethargic and tired. Like I just haven't really felt like myself.
Well, and she has to remember, like I said, it goes back to those absorption things. They have her eating small amounts so frequently and drinking the protein shakes and taking all the supplements because there is a real lack of general absorption because of how they rerouted her digestive tract in order to keep her from gaining more weight, and to get her to lose weight. So, you know, she's just so cut down on the amount of calories she's eating in general, and then she's not absorbing a lot of what she does eat. So that's definitely going to cause lethargy. Plus, she's just recovering still. I know it's 5 weeks out, but she's recovering from a very, very major procedure. That combination of things, the losing the weight kind of quickly, initially here, it's gonna throw her off. And I hope she's not too hard on herself. She needs to give herself the grace and the time to get back to where she was, because it's not going to happen overnight. And I know 5 weeks seems like a long time, but it's not that much of a long time. So April's problem is she will get down on herself. She will start feeling negative, and that spirals her. So that's why I really talk about April really needing to focus on like positive things, because when things don't go her way or they don't go as planned or they're not perfect, she really spirals.
I haven't had very much energy. And not that I haven't had that much energy, I've had like a noticeable decline. I've also had quite a few stomach issues. Just my stomach just not feeling great.
She definitely needs to bring, if it's odd, make sure she's bringing that up with her doctor and her dietitian, to make sure there isn't something going on, or if there is something she can change or they can tweak. If it's out of what has become the ordinary over the past couple of weeks, I hope she's definitely keeping in touch with her doctors about stuff like that, because, you know, she's still healing. Complications could arise, and you don't want to see that.
I think it might just be where I'm at on the diet, and I'm not really able to eat very many vegetables can only eat canned vegetables at this point.
No, and you want to prioritize your protein. I know people talk about, oh, vegetables are so important. You could live, technically, people do it on a carnivore diet without eating vegetables, and they are healthy people. They are healthy. Fiber is not technically required, and a lot of people actually help their gut problems by eliminating fiber, because fiber is essentially a scrub brush. It's very hard on your digestive tract. I'm not telling you not to eat vegetables and not to eat fiber, that it's unhealthy, but it is technically, you can live without it. And right now they don't want her filling up on that fiber and stuff. If she's going to eat, get the protein in first and then vegetables, but she doesn't want to push it and try to eat too much and make herself sick, give herself dumping syndrome, or risk starting to stretch that pouch out immediately. So if she's having issues, focus on the protein first, girl. Just get that in, because that is key.
And then food, soft or fork tender food. So soft food is the portion of the diet I am on. And I did try chicken last week, so chicken thighs, and I didn't have any noticeable adverse reactions at first, but I had chicken maybe 3 times, and the 3rd time was on the weekend. And I think after that, my body was just like, I just didn't feel good. I didn't go to church on Sunday, and I had plans to go with a friend, and so that was very disappointing to not go. And yeah, so we did have a good week. My husband has been home, like he's been working. He and I went over to a friend's house, and we just enjoyed catching up. I didn't broadcast that I was having surgery beyond work. I guess I got really comfortable saying that at work.
Well, yeah, and your work would have to know, obviously, because you're going to take time off. Guys, I have her at 1.25. I'm going to try speeding her up to 1.5 just a little bit, because she seems like she's talking a little slower in this one. If it's too fast, I'll turn it back.
I'm going to be out. I'm having surgery. And to those who asked, I was like, it's no big deal. I'm having weight loss surgery. And it kind of, I guess it was a big deal. But until I was rolling into surgery that day, I didn't really consider how scary it was. I was just ready to go.
It is scary. Any type of procedure is scary, especially when you're like very, very, very overweight. The biggest problem is really not just with the risk of you getting infections and healing and just getting through all that fat. It's the very serious risks with anesthesia and intubating you and maintaining a stable airway. I did intubations and things like that when I was a paramedic. And it can be tricky. It can be really tricky to get an airway on certain people who are not morbidly obese, but morbidly obese people, they have all that excess weight in their chest, makes it harder to mechanically ventilate them. Their necks are fatter and heavier. I mean, guys, I am not exaggerating. When you get really, really fat and you gain excess weight, your tongue can get fat and can get big, and it takes up more room in your mouth, and it obstructs the structures in the back of your mouth that we need to be able to access to get the intubation tube down the right hole, down the right pipe, and maintain it. So the fat acceptance people say, oh, it's fat phobia, that they won't operate on fat people. They can find ways to do it with all the technology. No, all the technology in the world isn't going to unfatten your tongue and your throat and all that stuff. There are legitimate issues with it.
Go in ready to get it done, ready to start whatever was next. And that is where I am. I'm at whatever's next. And right now it's a trial and error process of what can my body tolerate. And I have such a limited amount of foods that I'm even trying at this point. It makes me very...
And just another thing, like real quick, I'm sorry, I'm stopping right here. I just need to say, like, I like these videos, these update videos she's doing, but it is at this point really starting to feel very Amber Lynn-ish, in the sense that all it is her just sitting here and talking. And that's fine. I like getting the information. She has a pleasant background and stuff like that. But I do hope she gets back into the actual vlogging and showing us what she's doing and showing us her area. Because if it's always going to be just her sitting and talking like this, her views aren't going to get back up to where they were, and it's going to be hard to cover, because like the videos of Amber where she just literally sits and talk, it's not really a vlog. They're okay to watch sometimes, but it gets very tedious. So I do hope she plans on showing us other things other than her just sitting here and talking. Like, include this for sure, but, you know, show us some other stuff. She lives in beautiful Hawaii. Come on, show us some stuff.
Scared to like branch out. I'm happy to branch out further, but I'm also scared to branch out further. And I just feel nauseous when I think about eating. Like, I don't physically feel, maybe it is physical, but I think it's mostly mental. But then the mental causes like some physical, like, bleh, I don't want to eat. Like, I just don't want to. And maybe that's it. So I am meeting my protein goals. I have met my protein goal every day this week, which so happy that I have met my protein goals, because it's hard. It's hard to meet the hydration and the protein goal. And this week I have. So every day. And it surprises me that even meeting those goals, I'm still feeling the way that I'm feeling. And so I don't know, maybe I need alternate vitamins. Maybe I'm just not used to not having such a surplus of all of the things that I just need to like buck up and get over it.
That is true too. You probably to some degree have to get over it, but definitely keep in touch with your doctor to make sure there isn't something going on.
And maybe I'm not going to feel energy until I do more. So maybe instead of waiting to have more energy to do more, I just need to start doing more. But I still have.
Well, plus when you lay around and you do nothing, you do end up with like people think, oh, sitting around, it conserves energy to a degree.
Limitations.
But once you when you are always just sitting around doing nothing, you tend to have less energy than if you're up doing stuff. To a certain degree. So I imagine that it would kind of sap her energy a little bit, but.
So I'm very excited. So the next week I'll do my 6th weigh-in video, but it will be the beginning of all restrictions being lifted. So I'll be able to lift more than 15 pounds, and we'll come back to what I'm looking forward to this coming week and beyond in just a little bit.
And I hope when that happens, she doesn't start to sneak in things she shouldn't eat, give herself a little leeway in that sense, start picking more, having issues with the food, because like I said, April has always seemed to have relied on exercise and movement to facilitate her weight loss or maintenance, and we can see clearly that doesn't work. So her main focus, that's good to want to be active and do that stuff, but she needs to maintain the mindset that the diet, the food is 95% of the freaking battle.
Fortunately had to reschedule my DEXA scan, so my husband needed to get some paperwork stuff done, and here in Hawaii you have to go in for a lot of it and you have to make appointments. Fortunately, the time we were able to schedule that he could make, I could make, and they had available overlapped with my DEXA scan. So just postponed it. So on the 29th of this month, I'll be going in to get that. So that's more like the 6 weeks as opposed to every month. And who knows, maybe that's better anyway. I know they recommend the DEXA scan more like once every 3 months. I just, in the last 30 days, I've lost 30 pounds, well, a little over. So that's a lot. And then it's even more as of this week, because we'll just dive into that part. At my weigh-in this week, I weighed in at 283 pounds even, and that is another 3.6 pounds down.
That is awesome. And see, this like all these weigh-ins absolutely show that if like it pretty much proves that she was fibbing before, because I know she has the malabsorption issues a little bit with the surgery, and I know she had the surgery, but what does it show? It shows that even though she has PCOS and her hormones are all screwed up. Mine are the same way. I am the same as April in that sense with the PCOS, the severe PCOS, and my hormones are all out of whack and insulin resistance and all that. It shows that if it was really truly in a drastic deficit, like she was claiming to be in, she could lose weight. Like back then, she was insisting she was doing all this exercise, just tons and tons of exercise a day, burning so many calories and only eating super healthy and maybe around 1,800 calories a day. And she was only losing like half a pound or 0.8 of a pound a week and stuff like that, which is basically maintaining. This shows that was bullcrap, that she was definitely, 1, eating a lot more, 2, not doing nearly the exercise she was claiming to do, or more than likely 3, a combination of both of those prior things. So this shows that it can actually work for her. And I'm glad it is, and I hope she's honest this time around. We'll have to wait and see, but That's awesome, girl. I'm happy for her. Seriously, she is doing good, and I'm starting to be able to see a little bit of a difference in her face. So let's keep it going on the right track. Like I say all the time with April, we need a freaking win in Girl World because we're not gonna get it from the other ones.
So last week I weighed 286.6, this week 283, and I am pretty happy with consistency. I don't know.
Yeah,
with
that's good.
just the scale continuously going down. I feel like if I were moving and doing more, that it would go down even more. So
yeah, okay. Do you see? That's and in a way that's true. Yes, but do you see? I feel like if I was moving and doing more, it would go down more. She's relying on that exercise. She needs to get out of this mindset. You can technically, people, you could lose weight never getting off the couch. That's not the healthiest way to do it, and obviously you need exercise for a lot more other than weight loss. But exercise when it comes to weight loss is very, very tiny, like, factor. You could sit on your freaking couch and never do anything, and as long as you manage your calories to, like, with your BMR and stuff, and you stay in a deficit, you could lose weight. Yes, it would be a little slower, but she needs to really just look at the exercise as an extra benefit for her overall health. I don't think April should look at exercise purely of the, oh, I'll burn more calories and I'll lose more weight, because then it will give her the excuse, like I think she used to have, where it sneaks in, oh, I need to refuel, I can eat a little more because I did this today and I burned this many calories. Don't, April, that's a slippery slope. Do the exercise for your mental health, for your overall cardiovascular health, for your muscle health. Just don't look at it. Look at the weight loss portion of this journey and from the view of the food. Do you guys know what I'm making sense?
I have that to look forward to as I get over myself or figure out why I'm so lethargic. Like, is it something that's actually wrong, or is it just in my head and I just don't trust myself to choose? I did take the bandage off last week. I was talking about how I had that spot, and it looks very healed. Like, it's...
Yeah, she had a really bad allergic reaction to the steri strips, to the tape and stuff that they had on her wounds. I was explaining I have that too, and some other people in the comments also said they have it. It's a sensitivity to the glue on the tape and stuff that they use in medical, like op sites and tape and stuff like that. But I guess she had a pretty wicked reaction.
It's not completely healed, so it's still scabbing and still working on closing.
That's horrible. 6 weeks later, she's still dealing with it. She definitely has a sensitivity to whatever steri strips they used on her. So that type of sensitivity needs to be in your medical chart, and she needs to mention it. Like, now I have to mention it every time I would go and, like, even get blood work, because the tape they'll put on your arm to hold the little cotton ball after they draw blood will give me the rash. So I hope she knows to... and she has a bad reaction, so that can be turn into a severe allergic reaction. So she needs to remind them. Just so you know, guys, just trying to make stuff a little useful and helpful. So if that happens to you, don't look at it as minor. Consider that an allergy, and always tell, list that whenever they say, do you have any allergies, and like medicine or anything like that, put, like, if it's latex, or put, medical tape, medical tape, glue, stuff like that. Make sure you mention that.
The discharge on the bandage itself gave me a little concern, but because there's no fever, it's not hot to touch, and there's no other signs of infection, I just took a picture of it to show if I need to, and then I'm just kind of seeing where it goes. And if I continue to feel this lethargic and continue to see it not healing, then I'm going to go ahead and try to make another appointment with my doctor.
And you got to remember too, guys, like, and I'm not trying to fat shame, but fat people, when you're extremely obese, you just heal slower, and there's more of a risk of infection. Even when they do the surgeries laparoscopically, there's just more tissue and stuff they have to physically get through, a bigger layer of fat, and that just takes longer to heal and stuff like that. You just run the risk of more infections. It's harder to keep certain wounds and areas clean because of sweating and skin folds and stuff like that. So that's what I was saying about the surgery, like with the intubation and stuff, but the healing and everything just takes longer. And whenever you're really obese, even if all your blood work comes back great and you think you're super healthy, dude, your immune system is ultimately more compromised and more frail than if you were at a healthy weight. So, that just affects it. And a lot of people that are really big or maybe pre or full type 2 diabetic and they don't realize it. And that can cause healing issues.
My surgeon, and we'll go from there. But very happy to be progressing and I'm excited to go back to work. So let's talk about the things I'm excited about. This week, I thought my friend, when I did the calculations, I thought I was already going to be 6 weeks. So I'm not going to quite be 6 weeks. It's just under 6 weeks when my friend comes. But my best friend from childhood is coming, her and her family. And
what's her name? Is it the one that I forget the person's name, but I think I know who she's talking about.
So looking forward to spending time with her and doing all of the fun things that we can do. I just won't be getting in water, unfortunately. But I am looking forward to that. And then this past week, it rained a ton. Like a lot of plans and things got canceled just because of flooding. It's called a Kona storm. I'm messing that up. I know it's Kona, but I don't know if there was something else before the storm, but it's something about there being like a cyclone in a specific spot in the ocean.
There's this coffee called Kona coffee. It's a Hawaiian brand coffee, and it's pretty good if you ever get a chance to try it.
Essentially lots of rain, and it's slow moving, so it just got on top of the islands and it just poured and poured and poured. I'm grateful that the rain stopped and we did not have more flooding than we experienced. I know the windward side of the island got hit pretty hard, lots of mudslides and road closures and things, and I'm glad that is moving forward.
Yeah, and Hawaii's very hilly and stuff too, so I imagine that with all the rain and stuff they get, that would be a problem. That's awful. That would suck.
And they're not in the same risk. I'm glad that hasn't worsened and the rain has not continued, because that side really needed a break. It's the wetter side of the island anyway, and so yeah, I'm very happy that the rain is backing off a little. The rain is backing off.
We've been getting a ton of rain and thunderstorms, and like some people would think that it would make it cooler. It doesn't. With the humidity we have, it's cooler in the sense that the sun is not beating down on you, but it is not really cooler. It's just it just turns the whole area into more of like a sauna. It's rough.
I know how dry everything is going to be when my friend comes. So I know we'll get to do some hiking, but I was kind of hoping that they would want to do like the Jurassic Park. Like you can do like an ATV tour.
Just do fun stuff, April, but please don't push yourself.
Or you can just walk. I think you get more time if you do the ATV tour, and then you can also like get off of the ATVs and like hike and then drive and then walk and explore. I'm not sure, but I was hoping that we might be able to do something like that. But with all of the rain, I don't know if they're even going to be running tours when she comes.
Yeah, like the trails might be wiped out or flooded, huh?
But regardless, I know that we'll have fun, and I am looking forward to her visit so much. Aside from that, for this coming week to be such a party pooper, not that you need me to have a party, not to sound like such a like negative, but I'm not really looking forward to much. Like, I'm ready to go back to work. I'm ready to be able to work out, and I am ready to not have to rely on my husband to lift anything heavier than 15 pounds for me. It's very hard to do that. Like, it's very hard for me not just to lift stuff. And I mean, I have a few times, but
don't do that, April. You could bust your stitches. Just listen to your dang doctors. And I know it's hard. I know it's tricky, but she shouldn't be pushing herself.
So worried that
just don't do that. Just let Kenny do it. They will lift the restrictions soon. Just be patient.
So what could cause problems internally, which at this point, it's probably less likely that overstepping that restriction would cause harm, but it's still, I'm ready to be.
But that baseline is there for a reason, so please don't test it.
Restriction free, ready to scuba dive. We love diving. It is.
Please vlog the scuba diving, girl. This stuff's gonna be fun.
It's magical to go down deep and swim around, and we love it.
And it's fun. It's a fun activity. It's crazy. Beautiful down there. It would make great content, and swimming is amazing exercise for everybody, especially obese people, because it takes the weight off your joints while simultaneously the water adds some resistance. It's a good exercise for her. She should swim all the time.
Uh, we bought diving gear not too long ago. Well, I say not too long ago, but it was like still 2023. We bought diving gear, and I'm like, how long will my diving gear fit? The BCD and stuff. Like, I might have to get a new one before too long, and I am looking forward to that. Well, I think, not that you need to know, but we got my husband a large, and I got the extra large. And these are not like regular sizing. Like, it's not like I'm just an extra large. This is like, it's a big jacket that I got. But I think if we do it as tight as we can, that my husband could get away with wearing the extra large, and I eventually will be able to do the large. And then when I can no longer do the large, I will get a smaller one. But
see, goals, that's stuff to look forward to. Those are like the kind of things, like motivation. Like I need a like a goal pair of pants or something. I have some old clothes of mine somewhere in this house, and I need to get them out, like a couple shirts and maybe like a pair of jeans, and try them on every couple of weeks. That's kind of really good motivation too, and that shows you when your body's changing, even when the scale kind of is doing that thing where it's not moving as much as you would think it would, because that does happen, especially when you're eating like a low carb diet and stuff, or you're really lifting weights and focusing on weight training and stuff like that. Your body can recomp, and the scale might not show a big change, but you are in fact changing. That's why like a goal outfit is important. Taking your measurements is important, and taking progress pictures in the exact same outfit, or one very, very similar, and the same posing, the same camera, same distance, like all those things, those progress pictures, that stuff is just as important, if not more important, than the number on the scale.
diving is my favorite. Yeah, I love it so much.
Has she dived before? Dived? What is it? Has she gone diving before?
Oh, after the restrictions are lifted, which won't be until next week, it will be beginning. So probably, who knows what next week's video we'll talk about. Like, I'll weigh in. I'll chat about my friend's visit. That will be fun. But I'm over the healing phase. I just want to get back to normal. I know a lot of people who have this exact surgery, they're able to go back to work like almost immediately. But with that 15-pound lifting restriction, I couldn't. I have to wait. And I support my HR team's decision that would be best. And
okay, so her doctor didn't necessarily say she couldn't go back. Where she works, there's a chance of her lifting that, so they put the restriction on her. What is she doing? Where is she working? I have to check out her farm on Kiwi Thread, or her thread on Kiwi Farms. If anyone can figure it out, it's them. But I just would like to know what she's doing. But it's good she has a job, because like I said, it gets her out. It gives her a social network, and gives them some extra money.
I do get to go to a few work things this week. I'm not like going to work much, and it won't be like what I actually do, but I'm excited to go to those meetings. And yeah. So actually tomorrow I'm going to a work meeting, and I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, another thing that I'm looking forward to after this week is I'll hit 6 weeks, and then I'll meet with my dietitian, and I'll get to ask her more questions. And I don't know, like, I thought I understood what the phase I'm in now was supposed to look like, but she gave me the full like breakdown, and it was a lot more food. Like, I thought I was going to have to like ground everything up until the end of the 6 weeks, but that's not the case. It just, like I've said a billion times, it has to be fork tender, so just fork has to slide into it pretty easy.
Yeah, it still has to be really soft, right? Because I know a lot of people with these diets, they go from the liquid diet to literally like squishy, mushy food, like consistency of like baby food, right? I mean, or similar, right? Like I said, I haven't had surgery, and you guys who have had surgery in the comments give a lot of good information, and I'm learning stuff, not just me, but then other people reading the comments can learn. So if you know, and if you've had it, let me know in the comments. Is that like normally the next step? Because I know different doctors have different protocols and stuff. It's just interesting, because I'm like her. I thought it would have been a little different in the next step.
But I don't know what's next. I don't know if it's progressive, like, okay, now you can eat these things, or if it's just like, eat whatever doesn't make you sick. I don't know. I imagine it's not that, because I know she said before, like, can't eat lettuce, cabbage, and I've been craving cabbage.
Well, those things are hard to digest. They're fibrous. They're harder to digest. Yeah.
Maybe my iron's really low.
I could go for some cabbage though. Like, I like a roasted cabbage. Oh, it's so good, man. I haven't eaten yet today. I'm hungry. That's all it is. I'm thinking about food.
Supplement, as I was directed to do by my surgeon, but I've been craving cabbage a lot, and I know cabbage is high in iron, so I don't know. But I guess that's gonna wrap up this video. I did enjoy a rainy week. I like moody weather. And
me too. I'm a pluviophile like Amber is. I just don't go and say I like the sun and obviously stuff like that, but I am definitely more the moody, broody, witchy type who loves a good overcast day. My favorite is the fall, where it's like not quite hot, but it's not cold. There's just a slight chill in the air, and you have all the fall colors, and it's kind of got that dark, overcast, creepy feel. I love that feeling of the clouds and a storm in the air. I love it.
I love that it is so sunny and the temperatures always like perfect. And there's so many wonderful things about living here. We absolutely love living here in Hawaii. But at the same time, I like some moody weather, or maybe I need to plan a trip through the fall somewhere and like see some like seasonal colors or something. Yeah. Experience a little dark, moody weather. That's all I got. That is all I've got in this video. And I'm grateful for you watching, for your encouragement and support. I have not started sharing these videos yet at this point. I'm really ready to be sharing my videos. I have to still record like that.
Oh, okay. So these aren't real time. These are all pre-recorded. Wow. So she's had the surgery. What? Like, so how far behind is she? And it is, I'm not against pre-recording, but at the end there, the last time around, she was uploading content that was at least like her weigh-ins and stuff were all around a month behind, and she was showing content that was like 1-2+ months old. That's a little much. That's a little not polite in my opinion, but her channel do what she wants. But I'm curious to see what she's doing now, how she's doing. I wonder if she'll get caught up.
Hello, I disappeared video, and I don't know why. I think because talking about the ups and downs that I've gone through, it just makes me mentally tired. And
okay, I'm going to end it here because she's not going to really say anything else, I don't think. But let me know in the comments what you think. How do you think she's doing? Are we still positive? Are you worried about, like I am, about her when she gets back on to where there's no restrictions with food or anything? Do you think that she's getting the mental health help she needs for her disordered eating, and just not talking about it? Or do you think she's kind of sticking her head in the sand and being too prideful to admit she needs that? There's no shame in needing that help. But yeah, so leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe for more. If you don't have a comment and you want to help the algorithm, leave a I don't know. Leave like a storm cloud or rain or lightning or something storm related, since we were just talking about it in the comments, and that will really help. All of those things help out so much, guys, and you guys rock. We've surpassed 1,700 followers. Let's please get this channel to 2,000 subs by the end of the year, and I love and appreciate you all. I'm off to work on the next video, and I will see you in the next one.